In this video, we're going to see how we can create a multilingual website using WPML. Hi, my name is Stratos and I'm constantly producing video tutorials about WordPress. Please subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. Also, please take a second and give me a thumbs up so you can help me grow my channel. Let's start by the website. You will find the link of the website in the description below. Keep in mind that this is not an affiliate link. As we can see in the website, you can translate pages, post, custom types, taxonomy, menus, and even the theme's text. I will add here also the plugins that you may add in your website. It's compatible with your favorite themes, plugins, and page builder. And if you have already seen another video that I have made for multilingual website, I used a Polylang plugin. The main difference between those two plugins is the approach that they have when translating something. So in Polylang, you basically create a clone of the page that you want to translate, and then you go into the cloned page and you change the text that you want. After you are done, if you want to make a change to the layout of the page, you have to go in both pages and complete the changes that you want in the layout. In WPML, you don't have to do that. It will start a new process. It will use something different. You will translate the text, but you will not going to edit the page at any point. If you go into a page that is already translated and you change the layout, it will be synchronized across all the languages that you have in your website. So continuing, it says great for SEO and satisfaction guarantee. We have 30 days money back guarantee. So of course, this is only a pro plugin. They don't have any free plugins to add. And let's go straight to the pricing, and you will see now the pricing that is for one website. It's $29, and this is for the first year. Now keep in mind that this does not support the WooCommerce website translation. As you can see here, the multilingual e-commerce support. If you want to translate a WooCommerce website, even if you have only one website, you have to go into the CMS multilingual package, which can add up to 3 websites, but you have to buy this one if you want to translate the WooCommerce. And then they have the multi-language agency. The prices that you see here is for the first year. The renewal prices are a little bit less, so you can see that the first, which is $29, is $21 after the first year. The second one is $79 and it's $59 every year after that, and the third one is $159 and every single renewal is $119 after that. They offer 1 year of free updates and support, and in case you are wondering, if you miss or if you don't want to update the package that you have, your renewal package, then you will not miss anything. You will not get all the updates, you will not get anything new, you will not get any support, but the plugin will going to work fine. Now, of course, there is a risk there because there are cases that plugins, and I'm not strictly talking about WPML, plugins in general, are having problems with some updates. Maybe they have something bad in the code. Maybe they have something that they need to fix, and they release a fix that say, we had a problem and you have to update to this to fix something. And you will not get that update. So if you want to renew the services, that's fine, but keep in mind that you have to check once in a while for the updates and what they're offering in the updates. Now, if we go to the blog, we will see that the WPML is going to raise the prices, and they're going to be $39 for the blog, $99 for the multi-language CMS, and $199 for the agency. And this is, of course, the first purchase. Those changes will take effect after the release of the 4.5 version of WPML. And if we go to the renewals, they will also be upgraded to $29 for the blog. The CMS will be $74 and the agency will be $149. Now, if you go and buy yourself a product and grab something from these prices, then you will keep the renewal prices for as long as you have your account registered and you don't miss the renewal dates. As long as you have these prices, but then you will keep those no matter how no matter what changes they will make to the new prices. They also saying in the comments, if you go and read the comments in that blog, and someone asked the question if he has already a package that it's let's say that he's in CMS now, and after the release of the 4.5 he's going to upgrade to the agency version. Is he going to keep this price or the new? And they answer that he's going to keep the price in $119, which is great. So if you are interested in buying the product, please do so. Do not wait for the release of the 4.5 version. Okay, so we're finished with the website. Back to our website, and this is what we're going to translate. So this is an Astra template. It's something that I imported quickly, and it's using Gutenberg to create the pages. It doesn't matter what page builder you are using, but this is what I have already imported. So let's go to the plugins, and here we're going to upload the plugins that we have from the WPML account. So back to my account in the WPML, as you can see, this is the download page, and here we have the download products that you can download and the versions, of course, that we have at the moment. So in order to translate your website, you have to download those three first products: the WPML Multilanguage CMS, the string translation, and the translation management. The media translation is not necessary, and I'm going to talk about it a little bit later. And then we have some other plugins that you may need, as the Woocommerce Multilanguage if you want to translate your Woocommerce website. And then you have also some other plugins that you may need. Of course, there are so many other plugins that you cannot find inside here, but you can translate pretty much everything using the string translator that we're going to see. So download those three first, and then if you need, download the Woocommerce Multilingual plugin. In this video, we're going also to translate a Woocommerce so you can see how it's done. Now I have uploaded the first two plugins. Pause the video and do that. So you're going to add new, and then you're going to select the upload plugin, and then you're going to drag and drop the plugin that you're going to upload. So basically go into the download location and just go and upload the plugin and hit install now. After that, you're going to hit activate, and you're good to go once you have successfully activated all those three plugins. Now let's go also and see the version, because if you are watching this video later on, you may have something different in the WPML process. But for this moment, we have the 4.4.12, we have 3.1.10 for the string translation, and 2.10.8 for the translation management. The Woocommerce Multilingual plugin, I will upload it later on in this video. So once you activate all of those, then you can go on the top and you will see configure WPML. Let me switch off those in order to not be confused by those, and you are just going to hit configure WPML. So the first thing that it asks is what is the content language at this moment. So we have already created the website, we have uploaded some content, and the language that is all the content at this moment is English. So I'm going to leave it as English, and I'm going to hit next. If you want to ask yourself what other language there are pretty much, I think there are 40 languages. We're going to see it with the flags in this list. So we have this is the list that we're going to add all the other languages that we want to translate to. Keep in mind that you can add or remove languages later on as well, so you don't have to be specific at this moment for every language that you're going to add. The English is already checked, and you cannot uncheck because this is the default language, and I'm going to also add the Greek language. There's no point on me adding more languages here. If you have a language that it's not inside that list, I will show you how you can add your own language inside here. So let's click next. And then we're going to see the language switcher. The language switcher is basically next to your menu, or in another location. If you don't want to put that in a menu, you have something that you will click and see the other languages of the website. In most cases, we're going to use next to the menu, but you can also add that in another location or multiple locations if you want. You can have it in the menu, you can have it above the menu, you can have it in the footer, you can have it simultaneously in all of those places. So we're going to select, first is ask what to do when there is a page that is not translated. Do you want to skip it, or do you want to link it to the homepage for the translated pages? So we want to skip it for me. So if you go into a website, you go to About page, About Us page, and this page is not translated, it will not show the translated options for that page. And this is how I usually do. If you don't want, you can click here and it will go straight to the home page of the translated language. Then we have the menu language switcher, and we're going to add. Here we're going to select the menu that we're going to add. If you don't know which is the main menu, you have to go into your website. Let's go for the dashboard. Let's go for the appearances and then menus. You may have more than one menu inside here. As you can see, I have 3. And this is the primary menu that says Home, All Products, About, Contact, and Account. And as you can see, this is the home menu, the main menu. So the primary menu is the one that I want, so I select here the primary menu. After that, I can set the position. So do I want that to be the first item? So it will be before the home. If we go to the menu, it will be right here, or it will be after the menu, after the account. So last menu for me, and it will go straight to after the account. After that, I can select drop down or list of languages. If you select the drop down, you have to hover over the language that is currently open, and then you will see all the languages that you have. Keep in mind that this is a good way if you have more than 2 or 3 languages to keep the menu as clean as possible. You don't have 10 or 11 flags right there. But if you have 2 or 3 languages, maybe it's a good idea to put that as a list. So I'm going to put that as a list, and I'm going to put it one next to the other, as you can see here. Next, I usually put here the flags, and I hide the native language name and the language name in current language. So if you remove those 2, you will see that it only has the flag, but you can keep the native language name if you need. I usually hide that to keep it clean. Then you can select the language switcher colors, and this is if you are going to use something from the language name or the language name in current language. If you're using something from there, then you can switch the color themes. If not, just not mess with that. So save changes, and that will add the switcher here. Then we have a switcher for the widget, so you can add it wherever you want in the website. We have here a footer language switcher, so you can show that in the footer as well. Keep in mind that this is exactly the same. You just keep it, you just press this button, and you have the same options here. Maybe you have more for the drop down, as you can see here, but we're not going to change anything inside here. And then we have the links to translations of post. So it means that inside the post and above and below the contact, you will have links for the other languages. Now, I think that this is a little bit of overdoing. If someone going to visit your language, he will going to see the flags in the menu or wherever you have put them. He is going to select the language that he wants, and then he is going to visit the website with that language. He is not going to read something and then switch to another language inside the post. I don't think that he's going to do that. But if you, for any reasons, you want to do that, you can do by any means. Next. This is if you want to send them some reports for compatibility issues. I usually send those reports because it helps them get this plugin better, and because you are going to integrate that in your website and you are going to use multiple plugins, it's better to send those information up to there to fix things faster. So let's hit next. Then we have the registration. Now, about the registration, let's go back to my account, and I'm going to hide all the necessary information. I'm going to go into the account, and then I'm going to click to the register WPML on your sites. Once I go here, I can see here the site URL. I can create another key for the site that I want. And here you can add a new site and it can generate a new key. Now, a very good thing that they have done is that when you add a new site, and it's a site for your client because you're building websites for your clients, WPML will send them some information for them to pay. So they will pay for that package instead of you So you will add their contact information after that, and they will get an email from WPML, and they are going to pay for the plugin that they are using, which is great, I think. Okay, let's close that. I don't think that we need that anymore. So I'm going to remind later, and then I'm going to hit finish. Once I have done that, you will see now that the WPML has only language and support, but then it regenerates and has way more features than that. So we're going to go one by one all the settings in here, and then we're going to start translating our website. Of course, we're not going to spend a lot of time inside here, so it won't be 2 hours video, hopefully. So most of those I have already done it, but reporting to WPML, send a report. Yes, I want to send them a report. If you want to add languages after the first initial wizard, then you can do it by here. Just click Add Remove Languages, and you can click the languages that you want. If you don't have the languages inside that list, then you can click Edit Languages, and you're going straight into a table that you can add here your own language. So as you can see, I have English and Greek. This is the code that we have, EN and EL. The translation is English and Greek. This is the translation in Greek, the language in Greek. Then we have the flag, we have the default local, the encode URL, and the href flag. You can click here that says add language, and then you can go ahead and start adding what you want. So the name of the language, then the code, and as you can see here, the code is the unique value that identifies this language. This will be used in the URL, so keep in mind, keep it short, 2 letters or 3 if you can. Then we have the translation, and this is basically what we're going to put in here, or we're going to put it in those 3 boxes. So we have that in here. And then we have the name in both other languages that are English and Greek. After that, you're going to upload your flag. It will accept GIF, JPEG, and PNG and SVGs files. Then this is the default local. Since you don't know that, you have to go and search it in Google. Type WordPress location or local to find what's your local in your language, what you're going to use. Then we have the encode URLs. This means that if you're using a language that has characters that are not ASCII, like Greek or Arabic or Chinese or something like that, then you can put here to encode the URLs. And this means that it will go ahead and done another process later on and grab the URL from the original title or something else. It's better for the SEO purposes. And then we have the href lang, and this is the code that Google accepts for this language, so Google can understand what language is. So you can search also Google to find the language that you're putting inside. So I'm not going to do anything like that. I'm going to hit cancel, and I'm going to close that page. So back to the languages options. Here we have the language URL format. As you can see, the default is to add the language name as a parameter, which like that, language equals to EL, which is the Greek one. And I usually put it in here, different languages in directories, so the original one will not have anything else. Keep in mind that after the hyphen is just the comment, so it will keep the same domain, and for the Greek it will just add a slash and then the EL for the URLs. I'm going to save that, and it will ask for me to resave the permalink. So I'm going to open that and hit Save Changes. Okay, once it's saved, we're good to go. Close that, and we're back here. Languages switcher options. We have already done that if you want, but here you can just drag and drop the order of your languages, so you can put the Greek on front or on last. Then we have to skip languages or to link in the home page, and we have some other advanced options. We're not going to use any of those. If you are need to do something in here, you have to contact the support first to be sure what you're using. Then we have the menu language switcher, so you can switch anything and add anything you want in your menu. Then we have the widget, the footer language switcher, and links to translated posts that we have already seen. Then we have the custom language switchers, and if you go and see here, you can create something unique like a whole menu with the flags that you may need to add, something like that. As you can see, it has the word in English, but then the others are something different. It's a more unique style, so you can do that if you want. After that, we have hide languages, which means that you can hide the languages from your visitors because you're not ready to show them to the public, but you can see it yourself. So you can select which languages you want to hide from the public and you can hit save. You will be able, of course, to see them, but not your visitors. Then you have the make themes work multi-language. And this basically if you're going to use a custom CSS, so you can make different IDs for multi-language functionality. I usually disable that and hit save because this will increase the number of database queries in your site as it says here. Then we have the browser language redirect, and it means that it will look for the language that the visitor has in his browser, and he will be redirected according to the settings. So you can redirect visitors based on the browser language. I'm going to hit cancel. And if you're going to click that, you can always put that to remember after 24 hours. So basically, if he has English language in his browser, he comes to your website and he switches to another language except English and visits again after some hours, he will be remembered and he will go straight ahead to that language. And this is to always redirect the visitor, even if this page is missing, so he will go straight ahead to the home page. This means that if you share a link of a post somewhere, he will visit that, but according to the settings of his browser, he may go to the home page if the post is not completed and translated then. I think that it's not a good idea to do that. Okay, then we have the SEO options, display alternative language in the head section. We usually keep it as it is. If you want to show that you are using WPML in the footer, you will add this and you will just say that it's using WPML to translate, something like that. Then we have the language filter for Ajax operations. So if you're using a theme or a plugin that is using Ajax for searching purposes and you have some problems, then come here and click here to add this option. Then we have the feedback if you want to send feedback from the translation and reset to the default values. That was all for the language. Let's go to the themes and plugins localization. If you want to automatically load the themes MO files, if you don't know what MO files and PO files are, don't mess with that. Then we have the strings in the themes. Basically, you will click where you want to search and it will search for strings. With this feature, you can pretty much translate every plugin that you may add, or if you have a theme that adds something inside your website, a signing form, you have something different. Maybe you have a theme that adds functionality for listing or something different. You can go ahead and click here and then scan selected themes for strings, and it will search all the code of the Astra theme and he will find the strings that can be translated and offer you those to translate yourself. So you may have things like we find those results, we click here to read more, or something like that, next article. Those strings can be translated to you can translate it yourself. So as you can see, we have 695 translation. If you click here, you will go into the string translation page and you can translate those strings. Then we have for the plugins, you can do the same and click somewhere and translate the plugin that you're going to have. Same way, of course, you're going to click here, we're going to scan, select here to scan, and then you will find the strings right here. Let's go to the next one, which is the translation management. Here it's asked for another wizard. So who is going to translate? Only myself, or I'm going to use some other users. So I'm going to select who is there. I'm going to use a translation service, or I want to set someone that is going to translate and set all those things for me. He's going to choose the persons that are going to translate and everything else. He's a translation manager. Here I'm going to select only me. Okay, then continue. And done. After that, we're going to see, I think, 4 tables, yeah. And these are information to what we have done. So we have all the pages here, and here we have if they are translated, the data translated, and also you can select and add the note for the translation that he's going to maybe translate that. So you can add the note like, don't translate this page yet because we're waiting for another text or something for a client, something. If you're using other users to translate the page, it's helpful, but if you're the only one, then don't bother. Let's go to translation roles, and pretty much here you can add other users to translate the page. Then we have the translation services, and you can buy yourself a translation service and use that. Also, WPML offers a translation service. And then we have the translation tools, and here, let's wait for that to load. You can see that you can buy 2,000 credits for each month. And I think this is in the free version, but you can see the pricing tables and you will see this is the free version, and after that it will cost something like that. If you have too much of content, then you may start using something like that. I haven't used it, I don't know how good they are, but you can just head and try something like that if you need to. Let's go to the next one, which is the translations. Here, when we're going to start translating pages, posts, and everything else, we will find information in here that it says who translated what and some other information. Then we have the WP menu synchronize, and I have found that this is very hard for you to understand, and for me to understand. I don't think that it's something that I'm going to use ever. I haven't used it correctly at any case. I have used it, I think about 5 or 10 times I played with that and couldn't find why it's not doing what I want. So we're going to manually create the menu, and you're going to see that it's pretty easy. But if you're having a very big menu, then you may need to use something like that, which is very difficult to understand for me. Then we're going to string translation, and here is the translating of menus, not menus, plugins and themes, and these are the strings that you will find inside there. So here it's displaying all the strings, as you can see here, and if we select here, it says the translation is completed or translation needed, so it will hide or show the strings accordingly. Wait for translation and partial translation. Then we have the domains, and you can see that these are basically the categories of what you are using. So Astra has 695 strings. Then you have the block widget, we have the primary menu, we have quick links, and we have other things. Then we have the translation priorities. We are going to see how we can add other priorities if we want. And here you can search for translation. So if we are going to, if you want to translate something like read more, I think there is a read more in articles in Astra. Read more and hit enter or hit search. You have also the exact match or the include translation. As you can see, this is from the Astra theme, and this is the read more. So what I'm going to do is click the plus icon in the Greek translation, and then I'm going to add the translation text that I want. So here is διαβάστε περισσότερα. And then I can click outside and it will be saved automatically. You don't have to save anything. Okay, this is done. Now that you can see the plus sign converts to a pencil, and you know that the translation is completed. You have also another sign that is 2 gears, and this means that the translation has started but not finished. So whenever you see a yellow icon with 2 gears, you will know that translation started but hasn't finished yet. So you can search anything that you want inside here and translate the whole website. Okay, we're not going to use anything inside here, and then we're going for taxonomy translations. Here you're going to translate the taxonomies for the post, and if you have also custom post types, you may find those here. So categories, and here we have the uncategorized category. If we go inside our post and inside categories and create a category that says news, and hit add new category, we have the news category here. Keep in mind that whenever you can see that the English language is here. So we're referring, everything inside here is for the English language. Okay, so keep that in mind. We have now the news inside here. If we go back to the taxonomy translation and refresh the page and check first the categories, we will see that now we have the news here. So I'm going to click the plus icon here. I can select here and type here the translation. We have νέα. Then I'm going to click outside. This will grab the slug from here into here. But for me, I'm going to change that to something different, because I don't want Greek letters in my slug. It's bad for SEO purposes. And then I'm going to click save. And now this is saved, as you can see here. If I go back to the categories, you can see that there are 2 for English but only 1 for Greek. Let's refresh that. And now you can see that it's 2 for Greek also, because this has now a translated category in Greek. If I go now to edit that, I will see now that I have the news, and if I go here, the translation is for English, but I can also show the translation is in Greek, which is the NEA, which I did from the taxonomy here. So you get the picture. Then you have also the hierarchy synchronization if you have hierarchy inside your categories, and you can also translate it the tags, so you can add whatever you want. Also, we have the translation priorities, which was back in the string translation. That's basically if you are using other persons to translate the page also, and they're speaking other languages, and you want to translate the priorities and understand what this means. So after that, we have the packages. And here we'll find packages inside when we start translating. No worries about there at this moment, and it will have blogs later on. And then we have the settings. Let's go into the settings. So here we have the Use WPML Advanced Translator Editor. We're going to use that, and we're not going to use the classic translate editor. There are not too many differences between those two, but there are, I think it's a little bit faster to use the WPML Advanced Translation Editor. Now, of course, if you're going to translate a very big text, there are some cases that maybe the classic translator would be better, but for me, I'm always using this Advanced Translator Editor. Here you can select if you have already started something and you're using the classic translator editor. The next time you're going to edit that, you will use also the classic one and not switch to the advanced one. And you can also synchronize the translation and the translation manager to everything if you have not used ever the translation advanced editor and you're going to start now. Okay, then we have the taxonomies. This means that when you start translating a post, it will not show the taxonomy. The taxonomy will be automatically grabbed from the original one. It will be translated since you have already translated the taxonomies, and it will not show you that in the taxonomy. We will see something like that when we're going to translate WooCommerce products. It will not show the categories at all, the settings that we're not going to translate because they are already grabbed from the original one. So if we want the instruction in that to help us, and we're not going to, here for the post, I don't usually uncheck anything. I'm going to leave it as they are. You can just read those to understand what they are saying. And then it says when you're deleting a post, do you want to delete the translation as well? Yeah, probably you will want to do that. But of course, keep in mind that this depends on the project. And when you're deleting a taxonomy, do you also want to delete the translations of those taxonomies? Yes, I want to do that. Copy the taxonomy to translations because I want to copy all of those when I add those things inside the translations. If you want to copy the published date to the translations as well, so you want all of those to show in the same date, and I want to do that as well because I want to keep it in the same date, and then synchronize the comments in duplicate content if you want to show the content for all the languages. This is not something that I would choose because I don't want the Greek visitors to see the English language comments and vice versa. And then if you want to send translation of the content for HTML says, yes, I'm going to leave it as it is. Then hit save for the changes that you did. They are saved. Let's go to the next one. So this is the document status. So if you're going to translate something, if the original is draft and you're going to translate and hit publish, then the translated post will also be draft even if you hit publish because it's take the status of the original. Of course, if the original is published, then the translated one will also be published once it's done. Okay, now this is if you want the URL, the slug, to auto-generate from the title, or you want to translate that if you want to show in the translation of, or if you want to copy from the original language. Here in Greece, we have a plugin that will usually automatically change the URL into another URL, so you can go and be compatible with Google and SEO because we don't have an ASCII characters in our alphabet, but you can just translate this and it will offer you to translate the Slack as well. What you want to do, this will automatically grab, but you can just go ahead and switch it every time you want. I'm going to leave it as it is. Then we have the login and registration pages. So if you do have registration pages, then add this because it will add the URL and it will change some things in order to be compatible. Then we have the Slack translation, where you can translate the custom post and taxonomy based in Slags via the string translation, as you say here, the string translation. And then we have the XLIFF file options, leave it as it is. And here we have the settings for the custom field translation. So whenever you create a custom field, you will find here that it's added. So you can go ahead and switch to translate one or not translating or just copy. So if you want that to be translatable, you're going to see where it is. You're going to click here that says translate, and it means that it will be offer you translation for those posts, for those custom post types. So basically, if you go to all posts, he will offer you another column here that is for the translation. This is the one. If you click here the copy, it will grab the same content and it will show that in the translation language, in the translated language. If you set don't translate, it will not show it at all. Then we have the custom term meta translation, which is basically the same. We use it to change the meta information and if we want to translate it or not. This is not translatable for the orders. Here we have the post types translation. We have the post, the pages we want to be translatable. Then we have the media, we are going to see it later on. We have custom CSS and everything else which are not translatable. And as you can see, template, products, variation, orders, refunds, and coupons. All of those are not translatable in the moment. If you want, you can just click translatable only once and not only once, translatable to use translation if available, or translated only show translated items. Okay, then we have the taxonomies, and here are the categories of the post. Here is the tags of the post, and then we have the product type, product visibility, categories, tags, shipping. We're not going to change anything for the products because we're going to use another plugin later on, so we don't need to do that from the WPML settings here. Okay, then we have the translate links targets, and it will scan the post and the pages, in post I think, and strings, so it will find the URLs and it will convert them to the translated content. And so you can click scan here, it will find, and then you can go ahead and add the links for the translated content. Last thing, we have the media translation. If we go on top, we will see here that says WPML needs to set languages to existing media in your files, and then set media languages. So let's go down here. And this is the media translation. This is the same thing. In order for you to understand what I'm going to say, let's open also the media library, and we'll have it right here. So these are all the media that we have inside our website. This is only for our English version. If we go into the Greek, we will see that there is nothing inside here. As you can see, it says no media found for the Greek. So what we have to do is copy all the media into the translation languages. Now, if we go back to my account page, we will find this media translation plugin. Now, this means basically that you can translate the images, and what I mean by translated is that you may have images that have text inside. Maybe someone is holding something like a sign or something that it has a text or something, and that is for the current language. So you want to have another image with some other content that it's specific for other languages, and this is what you can use this plugin for. But for me, that we're not using anything that it's different, you can just clone all of those images. So I'm going here, and as you can see, it says that you can translate existing media in languages, duplicate existing media in translate, and duplicate the featured images for translated content. So it will duplicate everything in here. I'm going to hit start that says here, and this will clone all the existing media for the other languages as well. And once it's finished, it will only take a few seconds, as you can see. Now I can go into the media library, I can go into English, and I will see now that all the images are here. So I can use that in the posts, in the post that I'm going to build for other languages as well. Now, for the new content, when uploading media, it will be available in all languages. It will be available automatically. I will not have to go and do the process all over again. It will duplicate the media attachments, and it will duplicate the featured images for the post as well. So that was all with the settings. Now, let's go into the pages. Let's view all the pages and just go and see how the website is looking at this moment. And this is the website. So we have the home page here, and as you can see, this is the home page. Now let's go to the pages and let's go into, as you can see, I don't have any pages inside here. This is because I have the Greek that I have selected from the media. Keep that in mind. I'm going to select English, and I'm going to see now all the pages that I have in English. I'm going to click into the plus icon on the home page. This means that I'm going to translate this one. So let's click here. Wait a few seconds and it will load the advanced translator editor. You will see that it scans for the text and it will grab all the text from here. So now that it has the content right here, and this is basically from my previous test that I did, you have to go and click somewhere and start translating. So you have to go first in the home, this is the name of the page, and you have to go and type what you want for the translator one. So this is Archiki. Once you've done that, you just go and click here that says the save and complete, and this means that this is saved. It will go automatically to the next one, and you just type the translation and click the plus icon here. And every time you translate something, it will add that in the second column. We're going to do that in an empty page to see how it looks. And every time you click here the save and complete, it goes automatically in the next field. Whenever it's finished, you can just now hit the complete. Let's go to the other page. Now that I have done the home page, you will see now that the home page will turn into a pencil. This means that's completed. So let's go to the contact page. We're going to click here that says contact to translation. It will scan for the content, and as you can see, this is how it looks. So these that are already regenerated are because you have translated something like that in a previous page, and it will keep that translation and it will grab that and push that automatically in here, which is great. Now here it's contact, so I need to put here επικοινωνία. Also, as you can see, this is the title. Okay, after that we have the core, which is the heading H1, and it says what we're translating to. I have to click here that says the save and complete, and it will go automatically to the next one. Get in touch. Μείνετε σε επαφή. And for some reason I have to always keep changing the languages in the keyboard. Okay. And I'm going to click here save. If you go and see the pages and see the contact page, you will see that it grabs only the content, as you can see here. Get in touch and the home page, of course. Then we have the telephone, we have the emails, we have the street, and we have the frequently asked questions. So you can start grabbing all of those and translating that. Here is the email, so I'm going to hit save. The support, yeah, the street, I'm going to leave all of those as they are at this moment. There's no point in translating everything. Once you've done, it's 100 completed, and now I can hit complete. That means that it will be successfully translated. Now that is also this translated. If I go into the home page and sorry, not here, this is the home page, and refresh here the page, you will see now that I will have for that page also the Greek flag here. Let's refresh the page. And as you can see, now I have the Greek flag here. Now, I haven't saved it to be one side by side, but this is how it looks at the moment. So for the About Us page, you will see that I don't have that options. I don't have that option. I only have the option to see it in English. For the home page that I have already translated, I have also the option to see that in Greek. If I go into the Greek here language, you will see that I have now the Greek language, but I do have the menu not in Greek, in the English language. So the next thing is to go and create the menu that I want for the Greek language. Let's go back to the pages, let's go to appearances, let's go into the menus. And here, remember that we are seeing now the English, we have the English language, and this is the primary menu. I'm going to open that in a new tab. I'm going to hit the Greek in the new tab. So here is the Greek now menu. So the menu name will be main GR. Okay, after that I'm going to select the language is of course Greek, and this is the translation of the primary menu. If we go back, we will see that this is a primary menu that has the home, all products, about, contact, etc. So we won't translate that one. I'm going to select primary menu. It says here that it's selected currently as set to primary. So if we go back here, we will see that this is a primary menu. We don't have to select it here. It will grab that automatically. That's why it's asked for the translation off. So I'm going to create the menu. It will check that automatically here, as you can see. And then I can go and view all the pages, and I can add those pages that I have already translated. You don't see all the pages here, of course, because they are not all pages translated. Here we have 11, 12, I think, pages, but here we have only 2. Now that let's save the menu, and if I go back to here, and this is the Greek language now, I'm going to refresh the page and I'm going to see the menu in the language that I have selected. If I go now to the English, I'm going to see the menu in English, and that's what I wanted from the beginning. So that's how it is. If you want to translate the post, you have to go to all post, and of course the same process is here. You have to click the plus icon in the language that you want to translate to. Of course, here I'm viewing the Greek, and now I have to go into English, and now I have the hello world and I have the Greek language here. I'm going to click here, and this is the error that shouldn't be here, so no worries, refresh. It's something from my web hosting company. So the advanced translator editor kicked off, and this is the translated this is a translation of the post. So hello world, γεια σου κόσμε. Save that and save everything else, and then complete it. So it's completed. It didn't ask for the category, it didn't ask for the tags, it didn't ask for anything else because it's grabbed automatically. So that's how you do everything else. If we go now to all pages, and I'm going to open now the policy because I know that this is a long text. So I'm going to click plus, and this is something that it's a little bit of a con if you have too big of a text. You cannot copy all your text and close that inside this translation. It would be nice if you have something like combine all of those, but you can only combine in the same paragraph. As you can see here, I have something that I can click and I can connect those two in one cell. So I can go and click that, and these two are going to be combined into one paragraph because they are one paragraph inside the content. But I cannot combine all the text, and as you can see here, it's a big text. So if you have some privacy policy, if you have some other things and you have a big content, you have some terms of use page, you have some other information that you want to show, and it's a big text, then you will find yourself that you are doing extra work just to translate these pages. I wish I could do that easier. Also, something else that frustrates me is that you have to translate every single sentence in here. Maybe you will find a sentence that it doesn't have any value to have it in your own language. So you are in here, those cookies will last for a few years. Okay, this has a value, but you will find yourself that a basic sentence will not have value to translate that. You don't want to have it in the page at all, but you cannot. You have to have something in order to hit here this icon, because if I don't have anything inside here, I cannot hit the save and continue to continue to the next field. So I have to go and maybe add something like a dot. In most cases, when I have that problem, I use fewer words in here, and instead of translating the whole sentence, I use fewer words and combine that with the next one that I don't have anything inside there. So it will be a same paragraph, but it will combine those and it will look okay in the file that is translated in the front end. Now, next thing is that we have some words here that are, as you can see, highlighted, and this means that it's using CSS to style those. So we have a strong here, which is the bold. Basically, the bold is used as strong in the CSS, and it says that the suggested, the letter suggested, this is how it looks, is highlighted as bold. So you have to type something here for the translation. Let me delete everything, and you have to copy here if you have the translation, or type if you don't have the translated ready. And then you cannot save and continue unless you hit here this strong and show which is the strong one. So I have to highlight the word that I want, and I have to click here that says strong. And now that it's okay and this is bold, now I can save and continue to the next one. Now you will find that you have also other highlighted words, because they are strong, there are underlines, there are italics, and there are other CSS stylings in there. So you can highlight the words that you want and then click down here what you have. Remember that you have to click every single one of those in order to continue. And this is also a bug, because in some countries, in some languages, a single word is translated to more words than one, and vice versa. Maybe there are 3 words in English that translated to 1, and if they are all of those bold, and there are 3 different bold buttons, I have to use it in some way in order to continue. Okay, I'm going to hit completed there. Of course, the job is not finished, and I'm going to hit back because I cannot go back if I don't finish, or back to the list. And now if I go to all pages and refresh here, I would see, of course I hadn't saved that, I would see that this has a gear, and as you can see, this is not completed with the translation. So this is the icon that shows me that it's not completed. Now, before I continue with the WooCommerce translation, I would like to go into the WPML, and I would like to go into the translation management. And here I will find that some pages are already completed. As you can see, the home is published at that point, and you can find, if you want, some other things in there. And inside the translations, I will find who did it. As you will see here, it says the home is a page, it's translated, and it can, deadline is not set, but you can see that it has more settings in here. If I had other people that are working, I would see other information as well. Okay, now we're good to go. Let's go to add a new plugin, and we're going to add the WooCommerce Multilingual. Okay, and then install now. And once I install now, inside the WooCommerce, I will find something down here, a new field that I can use. Okay, activate the plugin. And now that's activated, I'm going to open all products just to have it here. So here, let's turn your WooCommerce shop in multi-language, and let's continue with the wizard. So they say here that there are store pages that are not exist for your languages. Basically, this is the account, the checkout, the cart, and the shop page, the 4 pages that are created automatically from WooCommerce and are not translated for the Greek language. So I say created the missing translation automatically, and let's continue. Then select translating attributes. I don't have any attributes here, but I could select here to translate those. We will do it later. Let's continue. Enable multiple currencies. If you have multiple currencies and you want to pay different, I don't have anything, but if you want, you can select that, and later in the settings you can do that as well. Then we have the translation option. So do you want to show the translation, the products, even if they're not translated, or if you want to display only the products that are translated? This is personally what you want to do. I want to show only the translated products. Okay, continue. And this is just for the test. Usually you put yes there. And then close setup. Okay, now as you can see, I have the WooCommerce Multilingual here. And this is the status. So as you can see, there are 12 products that are missing. And if we go to the products, we will see that there are 12 here in English and I have 0 in Greek. Then I can see here that I have the pages that are translated. I have the taxonomy that are missing. There are 3. Multi-currency I don't have, but I could have enabled. The plugin status are okay and the media is not active. Okay. As you can see, the categories here has a mark here that says that something is not going correctly because you have untranslated terms. If I go to the products and then the categories, I will see that I will not see at this moment, but if I refresh the website, I will see that I have the groceries and the juice. These are the terms that I have. And as you can see, I don't have anything inside the Greek language. So I have to go first inside the categories and I have to translate those two. It's better to do that from the categories from the multi-language WooCommerce multilingual, because it's faster and it's easier for me. You don't have to go into the products and then categories and do that from there. We used to do that from there in the old versions, but here we can do that and it's easier and you have everything under control. So we're going to click here that says groceries, and here we are going here and say λαχανικά. Okay, and then I'm going to put this slag. Okay, and then save that. After that, I have the juice, and let's click that. Okay. And let's save that as well. Now here you can change the labels in WooCommerce, so the translation of taxonomy. So we have the singular, which category, and I can make that a different letter for the category. The product category, which is the Greek kategorias προϊόντων, and then the slag. So I'm not going to do that. After that, we can change the tags and the attributes. I think that they are pretty much the same, so I don't have to go and add the tags and the attributes, because you can do and search for the tags, and if you have any, just click here and translate it to the next one. The same goes for the attributes. Now, once the category is ready, it will go and remove that from here, but it's not going to, because I have here the uncategorized. So I have to go here and put here . Okay, after that, I'm going to put here . And I'm going to click Save. Now that I have translated all these 3 categories, I don't have anymore that icon here. Now I can go to the products and I can start translating the products. I usually first start with the categories, tags and attributes, because there are fewer options, and then go and start translating our products. These are very easy. Of course, I have to go into one of those. I have to click here the plus, and I will get only the text that I have inside there. I will not get the price, I will not get the categories, I will not get the attributes or the tags. Everything of those are automatically translated, so I just have to grab the title and translate it. Then the body, then the expert, then the expert again, and then the slag, and as it says here, the image. The image, it means the alternate text. So for the here, the red chilies handpicked, I will say piper yes, I will not say that are chili. Okay, then we have the text. I'm going to put here just Greek letters. Okay, then save, and then another Greek letter, which is the body. This means that there are two different paragraphs inside there, but I can combine them if I wanted. Okay, plus that, then the expert. Okay, save that, and then we have expert again. I'm going to save it as it is again, and then we have the URL. I'm going to leave those as it is. So now I am completely 100%, and I can click here that says complete. If I go now to the products and refresh here, not here, the products, I will see now that I have 12 in the English. I have 0 in Greek, but if I refresh, it will take a moment, but it will show me that now it will be 1 in Greek. If I click here in Greek, I will see now that I have this option. So if I view the product, I will see that in here, and I can also go in here and move that in English. Of course, since this is already translated, I have the option to go and see the translation page, but if I go to another product, I will not. So let's view again the translation. So I have the name. As you can see, the price is the same, and it's dollars, and then I have here the expert, and then I have the content here. Now, if I go to another product, let's go first in English, and let's go to groceries, and let's change that to something different, like here, the honey. I will not get any option to see the translation because I don't have that. Of course, as I said in the beginning, since this has a different approach than the polylang, whenever you go and change something into a page inside your website, it will automatically be synchronized across all the pages, and that means for the layout, not the text, the content. But if you go and choose something different for the colors of the buttons or anything else, it will be across the whole website and it will synchronize with all the pages. Also for the products, if you go and offer a different price, if you go and add an offer, a value, if you add coupons or anything else, this will be offered for all the products, no matter what is the language of those products. That's why it didn't ask for the price, for the category and everything else. If you change the category of a product, it will go automatically and put that also for the translated products as well. So that was the video on how to use the WPML. I think I have covered everything, or pretty much everything. They have good support, so if you have any problems and I cannot help you with that, leave in a link in the description below, leave a comment. I will try to help you, but if I can, just go and ask anything they want in the WPML support, and I'm sure that they will offer a solution. So thanks for watching, guys. Please give me a thumbs up if you like the video, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.